Now, traditionally across Europe, which is where Christianity found its greatest muscle power, the entire festival of Saturnalia has gone from north to south, east to west in Europe, primarily because the ancient Europeans believed that the sun, which was the giver of life, was sick, and therefore you had winter. But with the winter solstice, we knew that the sun was going to recover, and the period of joy was starting, of summer, of crops, of new births, of new animals being born. So it was a happy occasion. A Merry Christmas to all of you who are tuned in today. Christmas is a family festival. It's all about joy, singing, eating. I mean, which festival isn't about eating? It's a festival that portrays new beginnings. It's the birth. I mean, if you look at the word Christmas, it really comes from a mass to celebrate the birth of Christ. As a festival, it's been timed for the 25th of December. But that's a bit of an arbitrary date. In reality, it was probably sometime around September that Jesus was born because, as we are told in the Bible, the shepherds watched their flocks by night. And in the Middle East, where Christ was born, Jesus was born, it is probably unlikely that any shepherd would be out watching his flocks at night. It's just too cold. However, the Romans decided, and they take the credit for having established the festival in the reign of Emperor Constantine, where they helped it coincide with the Feast of Saturnalia, which is a celebration of the sun god. Now, traditionally across Europe, which is where Christianity found its greatest muscle power, the entire festival of Saturnalia has gone from north to south, east to west in Europe, primarily because the ancient Europeans believed that the sun, which was the giver of life, was sick, and therefore you had winter. But with the winter solstice, we knew that the sun was going to recover, and the period of joy was starting, of summer, of crops, of new births, of new animals being born. So it was a happy occasion. And Christmas, you have the 12 days of Christmas where actually, so the period of Advent for about 40 days before Christmas, people fast, pretty much like Lent before Easter. And Christmas morning is when the feasting starts, or rather midnight service. After midnight service on the 24th night is when you're supposed to cut the cake and really start eating all the good stuff that you've managed to accumulate, save, and cook. But Christmas has a very deep meaning, actually, for all of us. You know, every religion around the world has been commoditized. It has become very commercialized. And thanks to human intervention, I think there's been a lot of polarization of the flock thereof. But what is important is we can never forget that it is a religion or a festival that is based on love. I shouldn't say it's the only religion, because every religion preaches love, but Christmas per se is a celebration of love. It starts right with the fact that God gave his only beloved Son to the world so that he could bring them the message of love. The second commandment is love thy neighbor as thyself. And Jesus was a living embodiment of this. He came into the world in a troubled time when you had King Herod wanting to kill off all newborn children because somebody said that the new king of the Jews is born. And he said, King Herod, who was at that time king in Israel, said, there is no way there can be a king greater than I. So he decided that all babies were going to be killed. And therefore, to participate in the census, Joseph brought Mary and to have her baby in Bethlehem. This celebration of the birth of Jesus is what we as Christians, all of us who have the faith of Christ, faith in Christ, all of us follow and rejoice in, and we share with all communities around us. Before we get further into the myths and all the legends of Christmas, including Santa Claus or why you have evergreen, why do we have Christmas trees as part of the celebration. I want to take this conversation across to Reverend Paul Swaroop, because the philosophy of Christmas has a lot of relevance in today's society. What does the Christian faith and the message of love, how do we put it out into society? Paul, could I ask you to please give us a little, give us your thoughts in the matter?
If you've enjoyed the conversation that you just heard, do subscribe to our channel for much more.